Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Studio Arc. Today we are going to make handmade resin stamp. Now this kind of stamp is a pretty unique idea according to me. I used flowers and holographic sparkles for it, some color, and it was pretty cute. I used those standard silicone stamps that we get in the market, and I stuck it with resin to a resin stamp holder, so it kind of came out pretty nice. They are small to hold and they are pretty cute, and the final finish is pretty nice. Like, it is clear cut, it is not shabby when you stamp it, and it is very easy to use. Now for these I used my jewelry mold, and I used blue color mica for adding color into it. I didn't want to add a very solid touch to it. I wanted to keep it more of a minimum, and I added a bit of flower, the blue petals, some blue flour, and like dried flour, and whatever I used was kind of blue. So I had more such flowers, like more options, but I felt that it would be too much to add a lot of it. Okay, I wanted to have a clear space, like two parts in my resin mold. One would be clear, one would be filled with glass shard and flowers and color. So it's like of a composition which is much better, and it gives it a more fancy vibe. I added holographic sparkles in it to make it look more sophisticated, and so that it gives more of a glass kind of look to it, a glass kind of look to my stamp. That is why I added resin with a clear coloring, so that it would be more glossy and vibrant. Okay, I didn't want it to be too solid, and this would also enhance the visual effect, because when you are trying on the stamp you would be able to see where you are stamping it. That is why I left it be clear. For the other one as well, I used the red mica coloring, and same as the previous one, I added some pink flowers because that was what was available. I think I had red flowers previously, but I used it up for some other work, so I went with pink flowers, pink leaves, etc. Yeah, and I would do the same thing with it. Like, I would do the same thing I did with the previous one. I would add the final glass shard at the end, and then yes, this is also available on my Etsy store. Link is in description box. I do global shipping, so there is no worry about whether it would reach you or not. And yeah, so this was pretty nice, because while I was making it I was kind of nervous, because I haven't really worked with flowers that much. I always use flakes, like copper flakes, gold flakes, silver flakes, but for this one I use flowers, holographic sparkles, coloring, and this was kind of a new different kind of vibe for me, because I often use sparkles but not really flowers. Yes, but even for the floral one, the yellow one, for this stamp as well, I first added the glass shards, the yellow coloring. I mixed it up well, and this was a different shape, not square, more of a round shape. And when it comes to round shape, the resin work is more enhanced because you can do doming pretty well with a round shape. Anyway, I added yellow flowers and my holographic sparkles and the final resin. Of course, now we are like pretty much finished with it. Now we would do the demolding, which is the best part of the entire process for me, because while demolding my artwork, I finally see the clearer picture of what I actually did. Now of course this has sharper edges, so I would like retouch it with some resin doming, at the end, and the flatter surface would be used to stick the silicone stamp with UV resin, and I would be done with it. Now see, it's like the red one and the blue one, they are both very beautiful, and because I used color, flowers and some holographic sparkles, it looks much better even on darker surfaces. And since it is clearer, it is not opaque, that is why it would be much better to use it when you are stamping with it. Now of course this is my silicone stamp, which I would apply with UV resin. I would spread the UV resin, okay, so that I can stick it to my resin stamp, and then I would let it dry. This is the end product and I'm very happy, so subscribe and share.